What you'll hear next may astonish, disturb, and provoke you. Know that the events, characters, and conversations are not real. They are imaginary, concocted for the purpose of release and entertainment. Interpret accordingly.
Merry Christmas, bitches. Well, it's not Christmas anymore. Hey, whatever. Welcome to the Boxcar Buddies. I'm your buddy, Greg. This is my man, Don, on the beatbox, and I want to talk about all the leftover candy canes that we got our hands on. They are so yummy nummy. I got them in my mouth. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hey, here, let me help you. Get it out.
Oh, wow, look at it sticking to the wall right there. That is
shotgunning candy cane.
Right up against it. Oh, are you okay, buddy?
I thought I could fit more in.
The whole bundle. I mean, you were holding on to 8 or 9 candy canes there, and you just went for the whole thing. I thought you were going to go one by one.
That's boring. And you know what? My mouth can handle more canes.
You were right there. You were right there getting it until they all tried to clamber down the esophagus
I
at
shouldn't
once.
have gone with the hook part first. I should have just gone with the straight part.
And to do so right in the middle of the song as well. I mean, you kind of jumped off the diving board there. And,
I wanted to see how far I could go with it, and apparently I can't go far with it. Stop judging me!
Hey, no, not at all, man. Like I said, I was impressed you went for it. I am a little upset that I'm not going to get a candy cane now, but, maybe after the one on the wall dries later on, maybe, I don't know, maybe I can go for that. That one
Something to look forward to later.
Yeah.
Or we can just go into a fucking alleyway behind, like a CVS or whatever. You really think people are really going out of their way to get fucking candy canes right now?
No, there's tons.
It ain't no more Christmas, dude.
No.
It's over.
Yeah.
This is the final episode of 2018, man.
It is. Can you believe that? Holy cow.
We've been doing this for a year and 1 month?
Yes. And we're, next time we talk, it's going to be a brand new calendar year, 2019.
Yes. Everything will be crystal clear.
Fresh.
I don't even remember what my New Year's resolution was. I think it was to be less mean.
Yeah, it was, if I recall, which...
I think I've been better.
I think it depends on who you ask.
I think I've been... Look at that guy I met when we were in Scotland, Travis. That guy liked me.
He liked you, I think, until the bits of his house that he was living under started to burn up. I'm pretty sure
I think he's probably fine right now. He strikes me as the kind of guy who can just do whatever he wants.
Land on his feet. He did say he liked a challenge, and he wants to be alone, and I think he's very alone right now. So he got what he wanted.
I think he is A-okay. I think I did him a favor.
Yeah, so maybe Travis would agree with you.
AKA, 2018 has been a roaring success for Greg's kindness.
Crushed that resolution there, bud. Nicely done.
I sure did.
I do not remember what mine was.
I don't think you had one.
I probably didn't. I'm a little bit... I don't want to say I'm averse to resolutions, but the way I look at New Year's is I more look backward.
Right.
I look at the year that has come past, that we're at the end of, and I kind of think to myself, all right, what did I like? Try and remember the good things, try and remember the things I disliked, and then if I have any control to affect those going forward. And if I do, what can I do to kind of cut some of those off? And yeah, I
mean, things to look back on what you did were fun. You hollowed out your own chest and put a fucking globe of light in there.
You're right, I did, and this is fun. This is more fun than I like, and one resolution I will make, Greg, is I want to make some improvements to this, because I feel like
you were going to put a filtration system in there, because it's just black right now.
I did clean it out that one time. I just didn't put in a system that perpetuates that, and so it's gotten gunkier. And with the holiday eating,
you are literally the description of fish owners. Like, oh, I've got this fish. It's like a low-effort pet, and then you never feed it.
I know.
But it refuses to die, so you have a fish just, like, chilling
and
in your room.
And this fish,
for years.
This fish happens to be my heart, and I need it to hang on.
Spinal cord.
Yeah, so you bring up a great point. I am going to I'm going to put in a filtration system. I'm going to soup this up. I'm going to pimp my chest window.
Please don't drain it and make soup out of it, though.
No, well, I mean, Just depend. If I start coughing later, some of this might have to come out. It is, as you can see, it's steaming and it's really pressing up against this. The fluid is at a level that is I'm just not comfortable.
At this point right now, we should get a Magic 8-Ball little cube thing and just throw it in there and shake it whenever we're like questioning stuff.
I would not be opposed to that.
No, don't think of that as a positive
I would not
thing, Don.
I would not be opposed to that. A lucky 8-ball inside me that I can shake around and consult at any point. If you can find a miniature one...
I would not trust your own inner judgment.
If we can find a tiny one that's going to fit in this window, I will absolutely do it. Actually, you know what? I am going to drain this just ever so slightly.
Come on,
Let's
man.
Get that open and... Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, it stinks.
Oh, it does.
It's like you're popping open a huge zit.
Oh, it's steaming.
Stinks.
Look at the steam on that. Oh, my God.
Please close it.
Okay, the vent is closed now. That is... Oh, that is so much better, though. Oh, dude, I have to tell you, I just have not felt this unencumbered in so long. This is wonderful.
Maybe you should actually, take some effort to take care of yourself. I mean, like, why do you think my hand is always in such pristine condition?
It's shiny.
I maintain this thing, man.
You do.
You got to commit to it.
You're right.
When you said that you wanted to hollow out your own chest and put a light in there, I was expecting you to put the work in.
I did at first. I did up front,
and then you fucking gave up, you fish owner.
Yeah, the maintenance is what sort of puts me off. It's the homework. It's the homework thing. It's
just think of it. It's like cleaning a bathroom or taking a bath.
Just do little steps, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just tiny little things like this. You really think I spend a whole day cleaning this hand? No, I do each finger individually, once a week.
Wow.
And then the palm.
Oh, I see. Split it up into a little routine like that?
So I go thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, palm.
Okay.
And you just cycle.
For the whole week? That gets you through the week?
This gets me through.
Nice.
It gets me through like a whole month.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? First thing I'm doing once we're done with this is I'm going to find a toothbrush and I want to scrub the inside of the window because that's got some streaks on it.
Yeah, don't do it on the podcast. We've already been doing some pretty nasty shit on here.
Yeah. Okay, maybe that's another...
remember the time we were poisoned?
I do.
Not even a month ago?
It was very recently. I remember also not, just a year, within the last year, I remember ingesting some pills and I didn't really know what they were. And now I as a result, I had to drain some blood from my penis. And now I've got a scar on the right side, never going away.
I remember the time that you almost drowned us.
Yes.
I also remember the time where you ripped a flower out of my hand.
Yeah, I did that for your own good. I still say that was taking you over. I am sure of it.
No, I think Sonny was going to be really cool.
I saved your life, man. You would be his slave right now.
Me and Sonny would have the conjoined thing. We would be Venom, but with like a sunflower and a man.
That's what you want to be? You want to be Venom?
That'd be kind of dope.
But a sunflower man? Venom of happiness?
Would you say it's really happy if I'm really viney and then like the sunflower petals become my teeth and I'm like, Rah!
If you were as brutal as Venom, it would be kind of cool.
Exactly.
It would be a nice spin on it.
Ruined that chance. It's all your fault.
I don't think there was actually a chance of that.
I have to make another goddamn arm.
Well, but
I'm almost done.
Yeah, and it's looking good, and it looks a lot better than any kind of flower hybrid that would be happening with your head. I'm sure. I mean,
I could have had both.
Well, but you also have to remember the free will component. You are not one to just give away your thought processing abilities to an external...
Well, I learned from my last creation. Don't give it AI.
That's right.
Robots should never, ever, 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 ever be given free will.
That's damn right.
Ever.
Well said.
I don't care who you are. That's a legit thing.
Completely.
Don't give your robot free will because it will rip your arms off.
You put fucking rules on that shit. You put limits on that creation.
That's why Dr. Wily is right.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
If anyone doesn't believe it, Dr. Wily, thinking that robots should be tools, yes, they are tools. They are toasters.
Yeah, we make them. We make them to help accomplish tasks.
Stop giving AI to Alexa. Stop letting Google fill in the rest of my history.
The machine learning. Where do you think that ends? My God, think about it.
Think about it.
It's
people.
scary.
It's stupid.
Not stupid, though, is the fact that you have rejoined us once again, for which we are greatly appreciative. We are the Boxcar Buddies. I'm Don.
I'm Greg.
And we are here, as we mentioned before, recording our last show of 2018. It has been quite a year.
Full year of the podcast.
Full year of the podcast. A lot of events.
We started at the tail end of 2017. We
That's
couldn't really
right.
make a whole lot of comments on 2017. 2018, we've been here the entire time.
Whole time. Full calendar year of some Boxcar buddying up, and that's what it's been. So thank you so much for being with us all the time. It's really appreciated.
Thanks
and
to sticking to us like a nasty boil.
Yeah, we love you for it. We love you for it. We noticed we've got a lot of people, obviously, around the Chicago area, which is where we record. We've got people in Wisconsin. I know I've noticed some people in Ohio.
The Swedes love us.
The Swedes love us. United Kingdom. We've got a lot of listeners in the UK. A couple in Canada have popped up recently. Spain. I noticed we have some Spanish listeners now as well.
Ooh.
This is very intriguing. China. Iceland. That's probably my favorite is Iceland.
You know what? I'm glad that we can, be some light in the dark, cold sadness of Iceland.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard that Iceland is pretty green and Greenland is pretty icy.
That's right. Mighty Ducks 2. It's one thing I took from that movie. It's a geography lesson.
I don't know. I took Kenan Thompson introducing the knuckle puck.
The knuckle puck. Yeah, that was pretty good. I never tried that in real life, but I bet it works.
I tried. It didn't work.
What?
No.
That's why you didn't.
I don't
it.
think children have the physical capabilities of Kenan Thompson in a cartoon Disney movie.
No, probably not. All that lovely, lovely Disney money.
And
those
Disney
takes.
really, really, really took a lot from us. It really bended our minds thinking, you can do anything with magic.
I know.
By the way, magic's not fucking real.
Yeah. Get ready to deal with that your whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Welcome to reality, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for when you come to Disneyland, for which we will charge you through the nose, and you will become addicted to, and you will just keep on coming back every single year.
That's their magic power.
That's the monster.
Greed.
Ha ha. Ha ha. That's right. Ha ha.
Well, gosh, how about you put the money in the bag, fucker? Pulls the gun out. I've got a son to feed. There ain't no rest for the wicked.
And I've got habits, damn it.
And Donald's just snorting cocaine in the back.
Oh no, Donald! Donald's going into relapse. Your pupils.
Quick, someone hand me the EpiPen.
It's here. Stick him.
Good.
Oh, Donald, don't scare us like that. We said go easy on the pure stuff, damn it. Ha. We love
And
it.
it's in scenarios like that, should they ever happen.
Yeah, which they do.
Horrifying.
Yeah, it's the underground, the seedy underbelly of Disneyland.
Well, speaking of seedy underbellies,
Yes.
the one thing we really, really like to do on this show is talk about things that we've been sneaking into, getting our hands on, robbing, possibly enjoying,
Borrowing, ingesting,
swallowing.
impressing upon our cranial lobes.
Sure.
Anything to
Keep
just
saying those big brain words and people will believe that you're smart.
bending the message
Bending the girders of reality.
so that it fits into our window of observation. Yeah,
AKA, we like to watch shit and tell you if we like it or not.
that's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy to get our hands on good shit.
And it also ain't easy being cheesy.
No, it never is. And that's why we try and avoid it, because it's difficult. So,
Gets everywhere.
but what we do is we're also, Greg and I are, we are without homes. We are homeless in Chicago. So it's not easy to get our hands on the good content, but we find ways. We've made a lot of friends over this last year and beforehand, and we know plenty of people, and we just do different things as needed in order to get that fix of a good story, which is what we both like to chase.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of things that I chased,
What'd you get into?
well, I dug into some reading material today.
Wow.
So I took a note out of your book. I decided to go to the library.
Nice.
Yeah.
Harold Washington. Mm-hmm. Gotta love
Very
it.
one. It's
Yeah.
the only one I can really think of. Like, in Chicago, I'm sure there's a bunch of other libraries out in the other neighborhoods of the city.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, man, like, I don't want to Google Maps this shit.
Yeah, you know where Harold Washington is.
I get roaming fees on my hand. It's pretty rough.
Who wants it? Who wants any of that stuff?
So
that
I just go to the Harold Washington. Of course, Martha recognizes me, so she lets me in.
It's cool how she always perches on that one gargoyle facing southeast, too. So she's always looking when she's not down there checking books in and out.
Yeah.
She's perched up there.
She's like a gargoyle.
Yeah,
Like
she is.
like a vulture even. She's a book vulture.
Absolutely.
She saw me walking down the like
You really want to take a book out there today, Sonny? You look like you have a hard time reading the Chinese food pamphlets.
Oh,
and I was like, fuck you, you old crony.
zingers.
I want to read some manga.
Oh, and did she
was like,
acquiesce?
Of course you read fucking nerd Japanese comics, you disgusting fat ass.
She knew. She is ruthless, and
She's so mean to me.
she knew that.
Why does she like you better than me?
I'm actually not sure. I think it's because I maintain an active library card and I don't have any overdue. I don't have any fees built
I
up.
don't
on
have
it.
any fees. You would think I take books out.
I've seen you take books out and not return them.
No, shut up.
So this is why
Martha listens. Shut up.
you asked me
Shut up.
why she doesn't like
Shut
you.
up.
She already knows.
Shut up.
She runs the
No,
library.
she doesn't.
She perches on the top of it. She's a gargoyle. She's in charge.
That's a flat out fucking lie. That is slander. I don't appreciate it. I would expect something better from my friend.
Well, fine. Well, next time I see the copy of My Father's Dragon that's been floating around the boxcar floors for the last 6 months, I'll just keep my mouth
Shut up.
I'll just keep my mouth shut. Okay.
In any case, I asked Martha to let me in because I wanted to read some manga. And she's like,
We don't have any of that. We have books. Actual books.
Yeah, she really doesn't like the comic book phase that kids are coming
So I was like,
for.
all right, fine. Then let me use your computer because I can't really get a whole lot of really good service on my hand.
Of course. And they have a bevy of computers down
Exactly. So she let me use one of the computers. We had to call in. I had to call in a little bit of a favor. I had to make a little deal with her.
there. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, a little under the table something.
Wow.
This is a little table under something. This.
Now, is this law stuff? Is there any law of violations are we talking about here?
It depends on what country you're in.
Okay.
The only thing that matters is that I'll be on a boat. So who cares?
Maritime law. You don't got to worry about
Exactly.
that. International waters. I love
I
it.
have no rules in the middle of the sea.
Martha doesn't either. Yeah, that's smart. That's good for
Yeah.
you.
So Martha allowed me to use one of the computers, and I just Googled up a website where I could read some good old manga because I've been hunkering, and I mean really fucking hunkering, to read some My Hero Academia.
Ooh, what a lovely little story. I remember you've mentioned
Yes.
this before.
Yeah, so I mentioned this when we first started the show. I only watched the anime, but now I've been reading the manga
I see.
because the manga is so much further ahead than the show.
Of course.
And I wanted to see, and I didn't want to wait for season 4 because I watched season 3 and I was like, this is good, but I really want more. And apparently there's been like a whole hell of a lot of shit happening in the manga way, way, way before these seasons came out. So I finally dug my hands back into My Hero Academia. I started from the very first chapter just to get it over with, like just remember what happened because it's been so long in between each season that I've actually watched. Up to the second most current arc, I think it is. I'm pretty far. I'm almost fully caught up. I think I'm like maybe like 40 issues behind. So My Hero Academia, as a quick refresher of what it is about a world where every single human has something called a quirk. So every single person in the world has a super special power to them, except the main character, Izuku. One day, while he was leaving school, he runs into his idol, the greatest superhero of all time, All Might, and finds that All Might cannot maintain his superhero form for long. All Might takes him in as his successor and gives him his quirk, because his quirk has the ability... It's basically an Olympic torch. You pass it on from one person to the next.
I see.
And the torch becomes more powerful the more people who have taken it on.
Wow.
So he is the 9th incarnation of All for One.
Yikes.
Or One for All. One for All. That's
Okay.
that's his.
Is that as it becomes more powerful, can they maintain that less and less time going forward?
From what it seems like, the power didn't truly become super amazing until All Might had it.
Okay.
And once All Might had it, it was like, whoa, this dude is, like, this is the reason why this guy is the #1 hero in the world. He's fucking, like, he's super fast. He can beat people whose quirks are super speed and super strength. It's almost limitless how powerful his physical abilities are.
Gotcha.
But that's what it is. It's only physical ability. There's no, like, projectile part to it unless,
Right.
like, you use, like, actual physical force. Like, the force of a punch and then using the shock wave, basically the sonic boom that the punch creates
Right.
as your long-range attack.
Right.
That's how powerful this ability is.
It's dope.
So the story is about this kid who gets that power and goes to a school specifically to cater to kids who want to become superheroes, like professional superheroes. It's like a trade school. And what I really liked about it is that the main character can't really maintain his superpower. Yes, he has this like incredible strength. He's stupid strong and stupid fast, but his body can't handle the strength.
Right.
So every single time he uses the power, he would break his fingers, break his arms.
Wow.
He would basically be a fucking mess.
Right, and there's a cost to that
There's a-
obscene power.
There's
yes.
a huge cost to it. Now that I've fully caught up, all the problems I had originally were that the show introduces, or the manga story introduces, a fuck ton of characters. You have this huge classroom. It's 20 kids, all with their own unique superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
And the show, when I watched it at first, never put any time into anyone besides like 5 kids.
Okay, so you're just like, what's the point?
Yeah,
of
so
knowing
there
these?
was times in the first season where I didn't even know characters' names, and it didn't give power reveals until much later into their stories. I think the manga still has that issue where it hasn't fully introduced other characters, but it's starting to really introduce a lot of characters, and I now have a new favorite.
Nice.
When it first originally came out, I really liked the character Ida. His power is he has engines built into his calves.
Right.
Makes him super fast and shit. Mm-hmm. I really liked who he was as a character. I really like his quirks. Like, he karate chops the air every single time he speaks. He's like, "You guys must do this. I am the class president."
Right. Gesticulating a lot.
My favorite character right now, I think, is Kirishima. His power is hardening. So he can turn his body into this really solid, jagged, stone-like
Nice.
thing.
Like a stone colossus from X-Men kind of a thing?
Yeah, but it just causes his skin to become really, like, jagged-looking. It makes him look like human craggled rocks.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
It's really, really cool. And I just finished the chapter where they fought against a Yakuza group. And he has this now ability called, like, ultimate hardening, where for like half a minute he is almost impervious to all attacks. He is the ultimate shield.
Damn.
And that chapter really went hard into his backstory, and I'm like, yes,
Loved it.
You finally brought in more characters.
Right,
You're
right.
finally paying attention to other characters than just the main kid, his girlfriend, the third guy, which is Ida, and then, like, the rival characters.
Right. So, and how long has this manga been being
The
published?
manga's not old. I think the manga started in, like, 2015.
Okay.
It's pretty new.
Yeah.
And as far as, like, Shonen Jump, like, mangas have gone, it elevated very quickly. It's almost like it's going through the same thing that I think Bleach did, where it got mega, mega popular when it was first released, but then it's been slowly dying out for One Piece, because One Piece will always be, like, the most popular manga ever fucking made.
Yeah.
I still like One Piece.
Yeah.
I'm a little embarrassed about it, but I'm like, I still read One Piece.
It's popular.
It's popular, and it's stupid, and that's why I really like it. But in any case, yeah, My Hero Academia, I've been reading this shit. I'm really liking where the story's finally going.
Yeah.
And I really like that they're actually making characters seem fucking important.
Cool. So it seems like it's on the rise to you, like it's hitting its stride.
It's finally catching up. Like, it spent so much time setting up that now it can actually allow all of its characters to actually do something. It's starting to give more sunlight to the characters who are completely left in the fucking dust with the very early parts of the manga and anime. So I'm looking forward to where it goes now.
Cool. That sounds great. My Hero Academia, the manga, sounds cool. If you're not inclined to wait for the animation to catch up, as Greg just mentioned.
If you wanna watch the anime, as far as like anime adaptations go, My Hero Academia is really, really good.
Yeah,
because usually like manga adaptation, like anime adaptations, it's hit or miss. Either the animation is really, really fucking good for a shonen, or it's really fucking bad.
I see.
And it's been pretty much in the higher, like, this is good.
That's good.
They pay attention to it's good action and good animations. It's Bones.
Cool. For sure.
If you don't know Bones, like Bones is like very high up there, next to like Gainax in terms of like animation companies in Japan. They're dope.
Cool.
So, yeah.
That sounds lovely. I will tell you, Greg, I also got into some stuff last week. Once we got back from the old Scotland, that night that we landed, I went to my thinking spot, up on the west side.
On a tree log with a yellow bear tapping the side of your head.
Think. No, I didn't do that because I'm respecting China's wishes and abandoning the image of Winnie the Pooh, so we don't invite the comparison with their president Xi Jinping.
I can't wait until Kingdom Hearts 3 is out. Because
I can't wait either.
Because the 100 Acre Wood is still in that fucking game.
Let me tell you something. If you want to laugh, right, anytime you're down and you want to laugh, Google the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, China. Google that.
You'll have a good laugh.
And you'll laugh.
But they keep the rest of 100 Acre Wood.
Totally unblemished.
So it's just going to be moments of Sora going, wow, that sounds so interesting.
And then cut to white space in the whited like, out space of the Acre Wood. Anyway, no, I went up to my thinking spot and I was just kind of, I snagged some food. I snagged some beef sticks from Jim. Jim's always got peddling those,
Skinny Jim.
He follows the tamale guy and because he knows not everybody likes tamales and he just follows with his big bundle of
He doesn't like
sticks.
being called slim. He's like, that's a copyright infringement.
Exactly. He won't say
that.
that.
I never understand why.
He thinks it's like someone's chasing after him. Like, dude, you
thinks the lawman is behind him? You've been using the wrong terminology for your beef sticks.
And he doesn't even make a profit from those things. It's like for favors and exchanges that he just gives these things out for. So I don't really know.
He's never even credited what he uses in the beef sticks.
No.
I think it's real beef.
I've never asked because I know it's not real beef and I really don't
are you really going to question your Taco Bell and your Burger King?
No. Sometimes you're going to eat it. You're just in the mood for it. You're just going to go.
Listen, today I'm in the mood for rat.
Can you squirt that on the old tortilla there?
Can I get some insects in my McRib?
Hey, that thing you're pasting onto the tortilla, what's in there? No, actually I don't want to know. Never mind. That's not what you do.
Oh, 60% meat?
Wow. It's a good batch today.
That's more than half.
60% is high. I love it. Yeah, so anyway, though, so I got some beef sticks. I'm up there. I'm thinking about that stuff. And, of course, as is wont to happen from time to time, as I was thinking in the spot, who should appear out of nowhere but our time-traveling, intergalactic, former cult leader, Rajneesh.
Oh, boy. Our favorite.
Yes.
The stalker guy who just seems to really, really hunker for your thighs.
The stalker who hunkers for our thighs, both of our company. I mean, especially me.
No. Don't try and push this on me.
He likes you too.
He likes me as a friend.
He likes you too. He's talked about you.
He likes you as an object.
Well, that's entirely possible, but
Every single time I see him, he's like, oh, I have to squeeze Don's ass.
I did. He does say that.
He always wants you to dress in the cat suit.
I know.
He always wants you over at his house for Netflix and chill.
And he pops
and every time he
and
sees me, he's just like, oh, Tell Don I said hi.
No, not true. And actually, I brought him.
100% true.
Don't
Don't even fucking lie.
Raj, come on in here. Let's figure out what's going on in here. You like Greg, don't you? I asked him to come over so we could talk about this because Raj, say hello to everybody.
Yes, hello. Thank you. It's nice to see all of you. Yes.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Fucking weirdo.
Also, would you mind closing the robe? I've asked you when you come into the boxcar to be presentable and not have just like your nuts hanging out like that.
Well, it's the only way that I can make sure you're going to pay attention to me. I love when you look at it. I just love to see the glint in your eye.
You see? When you look at it.
Raj, great. Close that up. What do you think of Greg, Raj? What's your opinion of Greg?
Greg is a very nice boy. I love, you know something, Greg? I've never looked at your mouth as I am now, and I've got to tell you, the position of it, the little curve on the right side, it's very boyish, and I enjoy this. I enjoy this very much. You're an attractive, homeless, pudgy man, and I enjoy your company.
Cool.
There you go. I told you he liked you.
That doesn't sound like he's coming on to me. That's just normal Raj being creepy.
Well, you think it's not going to ramp up. I thought the same thing, but
the only thing that's ramping up is him thinking about you.
I am very much ramping up right now. You can see it coming through the rope.
I know that. Back away, please. That is so gross.
And you wonder why he always wants your ass. It's because you keep gaslighting him into coming here.
No, what are you gaslighting? No, we don't use that term in here. That doesn't happen. All I do is I invite him and I ask if we can maybe pop around the time continuum. I don't think that's too much to ask
on
for.
A date.
It's not a date. It's a hangout. It's a hangout session.
You know that?
Raj, you know we are just friends, right? We've talked about this several times.
I'm very aware of our relationship, Don. You make it clear to me all the time. I'm just telling you, with my friends, I like to hug. I'm a hugger. So why don't you bring it in here right now?
Okay. Yes. We're huggers. We're friends. It's okay. Anyway, Raj, I asked you here because I wanted to talk about the movie that we watched when you bombarded me from my thinking spot last week. Do you remember it?
Oh, it was a very good one. I remember you smelled of cloven leaves, and we were talking about the jungle.
Yep, that's right. We were talking about it because we threw on Netflix. Raj put his little setup going. We had some, beers and whatnot, and we were scrolling through the Netflix feed, and they came out with some new movies, did Netflix, and one of them, which caught my eye, was Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
The Jungle Book.
Yeah, essentially, except the title of this specific movie is Mowgli.
Disney copyright free.
Legend of the Jungle.
Listen here, if you call it anything other than, if you call it the Jungle Book, I'm coming for you. Yeah.
They are so rigid about these laws. I don't understand it. What is with your ears? They're so large. I just want to touch them.
Keep your hands off the ears there, fella.
Okay. It's all right. I like your teeth. Your teeth are very shiny.
All the better to puncture your head with there, partner.
My God, Goof, you are just really, this is really ramping it up.
Don't mess with me, motherfucker.
Hey. All right, we're not messing with anybody. We just, and by the way, big fans. We're really excited about Kingdom Hearts 3. All of us are. So
you better.
We are. We're going to buy it.
You better.
I'm psyched.
You better.
Okay, why don't you back away from him now, okay? You are getting too close to my friend. I like this man.
Make sure not to use the term time continuum too much or you're going to break contract there. Yes, we own that word too.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I did not know.
You know what else? We also own Raj.
No, you cannot.
It's too late, motherfucker.
This is
Goodbye.
Blowing my mind. No, I have so many questions.
Okay. Wow. Well, anyway.
Hey, Raj, why don't you go chase him?
Yeah, Raj, you can do that. I probably don't need you here anymore, actually.
Well, I do have many questions. Okay, listen, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
okay?
all those questions are for Goofy.
Yeah.
Send those questions to Goofy.
I'll be right back. Okay, bye.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. Anyway.
All right, so tell us about the Jungle Mowgli.
Mowgli Legend of the Jungle is obviously a reimagining of the Jungle Book, which we know Disney adapted, but it goes back to the book that was written in the 1800s by Rudyard Kipling. And that is more along the lines of what Andy Serkis, who directed this movie, Mowgli, that's what he was trying to get to. I watched on Netflix, they had a little commentary trailer with him talking about what he was going for, and he mentions that, the book, the Jungle Book, is much more like anything with a Disney adaptation, obviously Disney put in some songs, they made some friendly animated bears and panthers, and it made it into
a musical.
Yeah, they made it into a happy little fun movie for kids. The Rudyard Kipling novel is much more adult, and it's not adult in the sense that it's gruesome or it's gratuitously violent or anything like that. It's just that there's a lot of symbolism. There are a lot of things that would go over kids' heads in terms of the script, the plot, and the motivations of characters, and that is this movie adaptation holds true to that. My immediate first impression of this movie was just that they talk about prophets. There's a narrator. The first shot of the movie focuses on like this eagle soaring over the tops of the trees in the jungle. That eagle, you see it like 2 or 3 more times in the movie, and it's a character in the book. And it's got a name that I'm blanking now, but it's sort of like
its name the Indian word for eagle, considering that's what all the other characters are.
Oh, I mean, it's probably and possibly yes. So if anyone can if you want to look up the Indian word for eagle,
because I think Baloo is just bear.
Bagheera for panther,
is panther.
Yeah, Shere Khan for the tiger. Right. So anyway,
actually, I think Shere Khan is an actual name. But for all the other characters, it's like...
Oh, it's just the identifying tag. Just the tag of
Shere Khan has to obviously have a name because he's a cool fucking tiger with a scar.
He is the villain. And so anyway, though, this adaptation is much more, as I said, it's adult. It's something you can watch with your kids, but I don't think they're going to take as much from it. Certainly not as much as like the Disney adaptation, the cartoon Jungle Book from,
or the live action one that just came out a couple years ago.
Yes, either by Jon Favreau, right. Either of those are a little more kid friendly, I think. This one though, it stuck out to me for a lot of different reasons. The one of them, I looked up the voice cast because almost immediately, like upon listening to this movie, Bagheera's voice was the first that jumped out at me, and I wasn't exactly sure. It sounded familiar, but I wasn't 100% sure who it was. And then I look at it, the IMDb page, Christian Bale. Christian Bale is the voice of Bagheera. Andy Serkis, who, as I mentioned, directed the movie, voices Baloo. Then,
of course he does, because he wants to be the most lovable character.
Well, but interestingly enough, Baloo in this movie, not as lovable. Say, Bagheera, their relationship...
Well, Baloo is like a teacher figure in this story,
he is still a teacher figure, and he is obviously, he's like a coach. He's trying to get the most out of the kids, but he does it in a much less lovable way than like the teacher of the Disney movie.
Well, he wasn't a teacher in the fucking Disney movies.
He was just
a fucking
allowed.
lazy bear.
Yeah, he was. He was allowed, like talking about the prickly pears and shit.
That dude
yeah.
is like a fucking slacker 101. Run away from your important duties to eat a bunch of fucking bugs and shit.
Give me yours. And that's enough.
And that's the end.
Yeah. So you got Christian Bale as Bagheera here. You've got Andy Serkis as Baloo. Kate Blanchett as Kaa, the snake, the python.
Okay.
And in this one, Kaa, she kind of does her Kate
Kaa's
Blanchett.
actually a protagonist in this story, right?
Kaa, you only see Kaa, same thing, like 2 or 3 times. However, she does her Lord of the Rings thing where she narrates. Kaa is like the narrator that at the beginning of the film introduces you to the world and kind of sets the scene, which obviously Kate Blanchett is perfect for.
Yeah.
Here's another perfect one. Shere Khan, the tiger. Benedict Cumberbatch. And obviously crushed it. I mean,
no, he didn't do a fucking American accent this time around, did
no,
he?
No. It's his normal English, but it's very low. And now, however, who did go not really American, but a little less pronounced with English would be Christian Bale. He dropped his English accent for Bagheera. And his Bagheera was probably one of my favorite characters. Just his relationship with Mowgli, it was complicated because it was like...
But would you say it was better than Sir Ben Kingsley?
Why do I have to compare them?
Because he's the Bagheera in the Jungle Book live action movie.
Oh, the live action. I actually haven't seen the Jon Favreau live action.
Oh, no? I enjoy it.
Yeah?
I think it's pretty good for what it is. I think Bill Murray's a little hit or miss as Baloo.
Okay, I do
But
remember
Idris
that.
Elba fucking nails it as Shere Khan.
Idris Elba? Oh my god.
Idris Elba is him. And then fucking Scarlett Johansson is only in one scene as Ka.
See, that's
There's one scene.
That's it's like 3 for Cate Blanchett here, but one of those scenes is very much like she gets involved, like she's like the oracle of the forest. The movie talks about how she can see the past and the future and like all at once, and she doesn't really get involved in like stuff with the forest. However, there is a moment in this movie where Mowgli is obviously like very threatened, and she actually does get involved, and it's all in all, I was very pleased with this movie. I had no expectations from it. We clicked on the Netflix. I saw the animals, the live action animals moving around, or the CGI ones, and I was just like, okay, this looks kind of cool. A long haired Mowgli, like wild child. It's always a fascinating story, The Jungle Book, because just the whole premise of a human being raised by wolves, not quite man.
Feral children are fun.
It's what I didn't say they were fun. I said it was fascinating.
Fascinating and fun.
It is.
I want more children to be raised in the wild so that they lose all social norms of humans.
It's interesting to see like I think my point is that it's like it'll never not be an intriguing premise for human beings. You know what I mean? For a human baby to be raised by animals, whether it was wolves or anything else, like just what that does culturally and socially, like to someone's development and all that. So
it makes them pretty fucked.
Yeah, totally, and that is what you get a sense of.
I'm not attracted to humans. I want to bone a wolf because I was taught and raised that way.
Mama's a wolf.
So what you're saying is you're into children turning feral and having like social implications into becoming like bestiality.
Sexually attracted to animals.
Yeah.
That was obviously
That's
the
your end
direction
goal right there?
That was obviously the direction I was going into. Yes.
Yeah. I can sense it in your tone of voice.
How would you not be into that? That's something everybody wants to see, right?
Who doesn't want to have sex with an animal?
Yeah, and watch them doing it from cradle to grave. Everybody wants to see that. It's this will never cease to be a fascinating premise. Mowgli, the boy who does Mowgli. Let me actually take a look at your hand there, Greg. I'm blanking on this guy's name. I apologize.
It's Boy McUnderboy.
Rohan Chand. 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 He played
Chand?
Mowgli. Yeah, and I don't.
Maybe the D's silent.
It could be.
Or maybe the N is silent and it's Chad. This boy is a legit Chad.
His filmography. Jumanji, the 2017 one, Kid at Bazaar, and top listing for Chand here, Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler movie from 2011.
Oh my God, he's the kid from Jack and Jill.
Yep, that's right. So
way
anyway,
to make me remember about Jack and Jill.
There you go. That wasn't my intention, but IMDb will do that. You go into a rabbit hole there. But anyway, Frida Pinto from Slumdog Millionaire, the romantic lead, she plays the woman in a village who ends up caring for Mowgli when he comes in there. This guy, Matthew Rhys, plays the hunter who sort of takes Mowgli under his wing, but he's evil, and Mowgli can sense it, and it's sort of like...
I can sense it, you have a gun!
He has a gun, and he's got his knife, and like...
Now imagine Shere Khan had a
Shere Cunt?
Shere
What
Khan.
were you about to say?
I was gonna say Shere Khan had a gun.
You are demeaning the villain of Jungle Book.
I sure am, because he's nowhere near as good as Edris.
You know what I would do? You watch this when you get a chance, and you tell me Benedict Cumberbatch does not do a fantastic voiceover.
We'll see.
You know he does a fantastic voiceover job. Why do you not love Benedict Cumberbatch?
Because I think most actors
Smaug?
who attempt to do... Oh
Smaug?
boy, he did such a good job as Smaug.
Scary.
I'm really thinking back about how good those Hobbit movies are.
He brought that character to
fucking
life.
9 hours of that fucking great story.
I didn't say the stories were good. They didn't need to be made, but he brought that character to life off the page and took that money like a good voice actor should. But anyway, my point is, yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job as Shere Khan. all the voiceover really lends itself. Every performance I thought was like very good. Andy Serkis, I'm a big fan of, and his performance as Baloo was cool. And overall, the tinge, like the bent that this movie takes, the spiritual direction. The talk of prophecy about how Ka is treated like this oracle, the way that like Baloo and Akela and Bagheera, they all talk about the jungle like it's alive and like it's a spirit. There's even a part later where like Mowgli makes a deal with this giant elephant, and the elephant is like Gaia. The elephant's like the face of this jungle. It's like massive and covered in moss, and it's a very cool visual. And Mowgli kind of makes a deal with it to save his wolf family and to save the village.
I'll give you a handful of peanuts if you actually save my fucking family.
Let me ride you!
Hey, buddy, I got a jar of peanut butter if you just want to, like, fucking let me ride on your back.
Let me climb up there. Help me! Put your leg up.
Is that Mowgli's voice?
No, it's not.
Hey, guys!
He's really...
Let me up! It's me, Mowgli!
I'm gonna save you! Anyway, my point is, from this rambling thing, is that Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle is, I thought, a very interesting take on the Jungle Book. If you are a fan of the book by Rudyard Kipling, if you like that, this movie holds a lot truer to the pages of the books, and Andy Serkis does just a good job. It was very cool. It left a lasting impression for me. As I said, it's a great cast. The voiceover is very good. And your kids can watch it. They might not get as much out of it as any of the other Jungle Book movies we mentioned, but even just for adults, like without the kids, it's enjoyable, and I liked it. You could probably get something out of it too.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wowee.
Uh-huh. That's what I did. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Jesus Christ, Raj. You gotta... Boy, you can't... I mean, I'm okay when you just pop up, but you normally make a noise and you do it about 4 or 5 feet away from me. If you're gonna pop up and just be right with your head on my shoulder, that, you know, I'm amped up. I was just talking about the Jungle Book and stuff. You really gotta back
how he
away.
always pops up on you.
No, he would pop... I think he'd pop up like this on anybody.
No, I do it mainly for you because I like the feel of your shoulder.
All right. Anyway, you know what? Did you come back for any reason? Did you just want to agree that the Jungle Book was a good movie?
You just wanted to snuggle, didn't you, Raj?
I would not say no to maybe if you put your arm around my back this way.
Nope, not going to do that. Not doing that at all.
And actually,
this is a ship that I like.
I did not care for the Jungle Book movie as much as you made it out to be.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't really ask for your opinion that detailed. I liked the movie, and this is our podcast. So why don't you get the fuck out of here right now? I'm kind of sick of this. You're getting in our space, and I don't really want to go anywhere in time right now, and you're making me awkward, okay?
Jesus, okay. Why don't
you come? You know what,
why don't
Raj?
we
How
hug
about
it
you
out?
come by later? How about you visit Don later after we're done recording?
You know, why don't you give it a few weeks or so? There's holidays, stuff are passed.
He's been telling me he's been feeling real cold at night. He could use a nice Subspace Emissary to hang out in.
Is this true? You're looking for a Subspace Emissary? Why wouldn't you tell me about this?
That's enough. Get out. Get out now. That is great. Okay. Wow. Yeah, you proved your fucking point.
Well,
Great.
all right. Well, how about we talk about some Subspace Emissaries?
All right. Let's talk about it.
So we watched something
Yeah, we
that
did.
had some Subspace Emissaries to it.
Together, we watched something.
Yeah.
Greg and I, recently, we got ourselves into a movie theater. There's a little... They refer to it as a Regal City, and it's a big plex, and
It's just a movie-based city. It's very small, but they call it a city.
That's right. There's a viaduct. There's viaducts. There's arches.
There's a pecking order there.
There is. There's
regular rotating regalities.
There's even a waterfront district. It's lovely. But so yeah, it's
The regent is regularly changed.
Yeah, as it has to be per the regulations. But so there's this little movie city, and they have this. It's kind of it's miniature. The model is you're walking through the streets and you feel like a giant, but they have a projection screen TV set up, and it shakes out to be about like 40 inches, I would say. Like, it's not gigantic, but if you were miniature, the size of like the actual city, it would be gigantic, but for us it's just kind of normal. But anyway, you can kind of sit down around it. It's very, very crisp and clear, high definition and all that. It's lovely. And every one night out of the week, because they normally charge for people to sit down and watch movies this way and kind of experience living in that movie city, one night out of the week they do free screenings. And so Greg and I went to the movie city. We kind of got some spots, and we saw, when we went, they happened to be screening a movie that recently came out, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Whoa!
That's right.
That's that weird Spider-Man movie that's animated all funny.
It's animated. It came out late 2018, not too recently from when or very recently from when we're recording this.
Yeah, this came out basically the week before we recorded this.
Yeah, so it's very new, and it is a unique telling of Spider-Man in general, because it's not an origin story, but
it is an origin story.
But it's like 5 origin stories sped up and like meshed together. I think a strange way.
I think it's clear who the main character is, and it's very much his origin story. But it's also a nod and a wink that Marvel Comics and all the different Spider-Man are weird and connected, at least in this movie, and they kind of go into how that works. But so, as Greg just alluded to, the main character that you're following is Miles Morales. It's not Peter Parker, although Peter Parker plays plenty of roles in this whole thing. So, like, the basic summary is Miles Morales is a kid who, an inner city New York kid who is transferred into like super high class school.
He like wins some lottery, which elevates him from the city public school to a boarding school nearby, much higher class.
Yeah, so Miles is kind of like directionless. He's looking for an outlet to really express himself. He's not really sure of what he wants to do when one night he's tagging some subways with his Uncle Aaron. All of a sudden he gets bitten by a radioactive spider. And a couple days later, after discovering all of his powers, he runs into Peter Parker. Unfortunately, Peter Parker gets murdered.
He does, yes. So and that Peter Parker Miles meets, that's the original one. That's the Peter Parker Spider-Man that we're all familiar with. And he's in the process, when Miles meets him, he's in the process of trying to defeat an enemy. And that fight leads him to Miles's dimension, so, reality, I guess.
Bending and bringing in other spider people.
Yes, yeah, later on, and it's very.
So we get a new look into Peter Parker that I think has been sorely missing from these movies. It's jaded hobo Peter Parker.
Yeah, who life has like crapped on, and he's middle-aged now, and it didn't work out with Mary Jane, and
he's perfect as Spider-Man. Like, he is so good at being Spider-Man that he doesn't even have to think about it.
Right.
But his life is in absolute shambles.
Yeah, right.
Whereas the Peter Parker that was showcased in Miles' universe, he is fucking, like, he's top of his game. He's got a fucking Christmas album.
Yes, right.
He's really good at his job. He has a marriage, and he's really looking forward to his life. Voiced by Chris Pine, which I thought was really funny.
I noticed that too, and it sounded, again, I had watched The Outlaw King recently, and I knew listening to it that it sounded familiar, but I never would have guessed that until looking at the screen. And as we know, that Spider-Man has, like, 5 lines, like maybe 6 at the beginning of the movie.
He's only in one scene, and he's effectively put out.
Yeah, so it was brief, but that Chris Pine does very much what's needed of him in that short bit.
Yeah, so this world of Spider-Man is more in line with the Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, which I really like, where things are different, and the movie goes out of its way to really show how things are different. Because of Peter B. Parker, our, jaded hobo Peter Parker.
Right.
He helps, like, showcase how different his world is compared to Miles, but at the same time, how similar they are.
Right.
And he acts as, like, a teacher for Miles. He's showing him the ropes of how to become Spider-Man in his own universe, so he can pretty much take over for Peter, since the Peter of that universe is crushed underneath that rotund, fucking round-ass Kingpin's big ass hands.
As we Greg just talking about Kingpin there, the animation, the choice that they made for how to show Kingpin was fantastic.
I fucking love the art direction of this movie.
Absolutely.
I think if there is anything to take away from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the art style is stunning.
Visually,
fuck you,
incredible.
Sony.
Incredible.
Do not patent this, because I want to see this style done everywhere.
Absolutely.
Don't get like your hopes high because this is the most successful fucking Spider-Man movie you'll ever make.
Yes. No, I agree. And as Greg kind of alluding to there, like the art style, I walked out of that theater thinking to myself, I've heard the expression over the years, it was like a comic book come to life. And I just, after seeing this movie, now that is the truest example of that phrase I have ever heard. And I don't think I can use that phrase with anything else now, because it was so much like to the point of like little ink dots almost. Like they made it look as if you were flipping through a comic book page.
Not to mention like sound effects, like common sound effects that are made in the Spider-Verse, like the thwips from the webs.
Yes.
Those all pop out. It's so dynamic looking. It's so unique looking.
The movement of all the characters in general, but of course the Spider-Men. I mean, they're the swinging around and the combat that they do, and just like how smooth, and yet like, you can't do that with live action. The animation made it like, it's impossible to make a human being actually move like that, but that's what makes Spider-Man Spider-Man, and it was just so cool the way that they made everybody move. It was great.
It's an incredible fucking movie. The voice cast is dope too. Like Liev Schreiber plays Wilson Fisk.
Kingpin, who is, again, Liev Schreiber does a lot of voice work, and he's actually hard to spot. Liev Schreiber, if you don't know him, plays Ray Donovan on Showtime. That's probably his most
recognizable. If you could recognize him from anything, like if you're a nerd and you're listening to us, he was Sabretooth
in the X-Men
Origins.
Yes, exactly. So that's where you might, you could see him from that. But he does a lot of voice work, and he does it very well.
Yeah.
Very gruff, very threatening, menacing delivery. Like, you take him seriously.
But at the same time, like, he sounds so silly when he speaks.
Yeah.
If there's like one character I could take away in terms of like design and using like their body for action sequences, I just fucking loved watching Fisk overtake the screen because of how big his body is.
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the artist. It's all over Twitter. I saw I forget what his name is, but that's what they took the design for Fisk from, and that's why they made him so larger than life. One of my favorite shots is very early on. You see it in the trailers, where because Fisk's body is so large, there's a point where they focus only on his head, and it's a very small part of the screen, and the rest of it is black because that's his fucking suit.
Right. The perspective is that it's this. His head is a tiny thing in the middle of the screen in an otherwise blacked out screen, and you realize as the camera moves that it's blacked out because his body is just blacking it out. It's massive and misshapen.
His body, I thought his head was gonna start bouncing around like the pause screens of old DVD menus.
Yeah.
Like it would just pop on the
rebound on the frames.
And it would change colors.
Doink.
Every single time it doinks, he just goes, "You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this.
Right.
You're gonna love this."
Jake Johnson voices Peter B. Parker, and Jake Johnson is a guy who's probably most recognizable from New Girl, I think. Like, not a show I've watched, but he's one of the main guys in that. I know him in my head as the guy who looks like Oscar Isaacs but is not. Yeah. And that's now I know his name. It's Jake Johnson.
Which is funny because Oscar Isaac is also in this movie as a secret character that we won't give away.
Yes.
But I can safely say I think this is my favorite movie this year.
And I
think this is a great way to end 2018.
It's wonderful.
Holy shit.
It's wonderful. It was a blast of a ride. It was lengthwise, Greg, what was it like?
It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, slightly longer than 90 minutes.
The show we went to was like 10:30. We left there at like 12:15,
Yeah.
12:30, and
Yeah.
that's plus trailers
And all the credits at the end that we stayed for at the end. By the way,
it's a perfectly compact movie, and it's so funny. It's so well written.
The humor, to me, was the least expected part. I knew that they were going to try to be funny just based on some of the casting that I'd seen and who the
But
characters I
also
knew were
the
going to be in
directors
it.
and writers, Lord and Miller.
Yes, and they succeeded. I mean, all the moments, like the jokes, I mean, they land. Like the jokes are they do it very well. The timing of the line deliveries, and you know, some of what they did would not have been able to get the laugh, but because of just good voice acting and then the editing, it's very well done. So visually stunning, hilarious, good voice acting, as we mentioned.
Good-hearted. It's a good origin story for Miles, but at the same time, I feel like they don't have to beat you over the head about the Spider-Man origins.
Yes.
I love that all 6 of the main characters have like a moment where like a comic book flips down and it gives very quick, brief background history to each of the characters.
Yeah, like a speed dating round of origin stories for the different characters that you get in there.
When it gets to fucking Nick Cage as Spider Noir,
fantastic.
Did you ever let the match go down to your fingertips? Or let it burn your fingertips so you can actually feel something?
Yeah, Nick Cage probably has the best lines of anybody in the movie. You could tell how much fun he must have had. As you mentioned, John Mulaney as Spider-Ham. You know,
I also fun fact with John Mulaney as Spider-Ham, he didn't know who he was playing when they first recorded.
Wow.
They kept it a secret from him, but apparently he just went fucking wild. He
Yeah.
was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking help you, Spider-Man."
Yeah, and his voice is so perfect for that character, a fucking cartoony pig with spider powers. It was hilarious for that reason.
A spider bitten by a radioactive pig.
Right, that's right. So, not only Greg mentioning it's might be his favorite movie of this year. I will say that I think this is my favorite Spider-Man movie because there's a special place, as we've talked about nostalgia value here on the show before. Spider-Man 2 for me definitely is in one of those places. But when I look back, Tobey Maguire was not, he never really was a great Spider-Man, even as a kid for me. After watching this one, it was so clear that, between the humor and,
The art and the style of it, and the pacing.
Visually, I've never seen anything like that. My eyes were they couldn't get wide enough that whole movie because I wanted to absorb everything. And there is just so many great sequences of animation when things are happening, when in order to get these Spider-Men together, I won't give away anything with the plot, but there's a point where obviously they're from different realities. So dimensions kind of have to converge in order to get them on the same page. And the way they make it look when that's happening is just so mind-blowing. It is so cool. And
I would hate I'm very, very upset though that if you have epilepsy, you cannot watch this movie.
Do not.
Because literally the first 30 seconds is just bright lights and just
flashing
and
colors,
glitching.
quick transitions. As Greg, it's watching watching one of those old TVs freak out, like when the color panels are just flipping out on you. It's
a mess of colors, and I'm like, this sucks for anyone who feels sick about that.
Yeah, so if you do, or if your kid, if you're thinking about taking them and they have any issues with video game screens like that, or anything with flashing quick moving colors and stuff that might trigger something like that,
unfortunately you cannot see this.
Yeah, just it's something to stay away from, because visually it, as we said, it's stunning, but the quick transitions of it and the way that they show it does lend itself to that potential. So that's kind of an unfortunate thing.
You need to watch this a couple times. As
Absolutely.
much as I loved it, some things go by so fast, and sometimes the jokes go so fast that you miss a bunch.
Yeah, because you're laughing at the punchline that just happened, but as you're laughing, somebody else said something else, and you didn't get time to hear that because you're still kind of reacting to that thing. So it is a movie that's worth watching a few times, and one you should check out a few times. But I loved it. As I said, I think it's my favorite Spider-Man movie. And I between the PS4 game and this movie, I think 2018 is year of the Spider-Man, isn't it? Like
This feels like it. It feels like it's 2001 again.
Yeah.
And 2001 felt like it was 1994 again.
I know.
1994 felt like it was 1966 again.
And that point Greg's making is exactly why they didn't need to launch into the origin of Spider-Man, and they play with that. They play with that in the movie because they know everybody knows that story by now.
That's like I think that's the first line of the movie.
Yeah.
Like because it starts out with all the comic books of each of the Spider-Men. He just goes, the story. Kid bitten by a radioactive spider, uncle dies, become a superhero.
Right. And they brush it under the they get past it really quickly because they know that. It's 2018. There have been many iterations of Spider-Man.
When you think of the most relevant superheroes, like in our pop culture, I always think the number ones are Batman and Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is probably above Batman because the biggest difference between Spider-Man and Batman is Batman's a fucking millionaire,
right?
And you can't put yourself in his shoes. And Peter Parker
Agreed.
and every iteration of the Spider-Man, Miles or Gwen or whoever, is a hardworking, average-ass teen who tries to take on way too many responsibilities.
Absolutely. As you said, completely relatable, and that's probably a big reason why Spider-Man is so relatable and has such a massive following. I would not argue with that. I think Batman and Spider-Man are totally the two number ones, and the people who follow Spider-Man, I know, are intensely loyal about Spider-Man. They love him, and I think it's because of that. You see, Spider-Man is not he tries his best to be a hero, but Peter Parker is not a great citizen. He doesn't pay his bills on time. He can't get his homework done.
He's a complicated character.
Yeah.
He has a lot of, he's very, very late. He gets easily distracted.
Always messy. His rooms and everything, his personal workspaces, always slovenly. He's not well put together. However, he does always try to do the right thing, always. And that is just compelling, and it makes him a hero. And this movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, reflects that very well. It's well done.
Even jaded, homeless Spider-Man.
Peter B. Parker is
still a good person.
It's great.
As chubby and silly and not liquid as he is.
I love that. And they do, our jaded Peter B. Parker, as we mentioned, he is, he's older and he's out of shape. So there are a lot of poking fun at him.
I mean, the dude wears yoga pants for a good part of this.
Yeah,
story.
he's got the Spider-Man top on, and he's just got sweatpants on the bottom half of him. It's a pretty hilarious visual. But Mahershala Ali, another voiceover cameo in there, played Miles' uncle, Uncle Aaron, I think. But yeah, so it's great.
High quality in every way. Stay after the credits. God damn it.
100%.
Stay after the credits.
It's worth it.
Tried to get Freak to go see it. He went and saw it, but he left when the credits started rolling. And I was like, what is wrong with you?
Plenty of people did that.
Big stupid.
That's right. People do, and people wouldn't. But as we've said, it's a Marvel movie. It's, it is in that thing, so there is something worth staying for after the credits. And one final note that I liked that they did was they did a nice tribute to Stan Lee in the movie, at the end credits, but he was also worked into a scene because as we've come to,
he is, because he has 10 years worth of cameos apparently recorded,
and as we've come to expect,
he's
in Marvel
Once
movies,
Upon a Deadpool apparently.
Wow, really? See, and that's what we mean. So it's there's all this stock footage, and it's a Marvel movie. You knew Stan Lee was going to make an appearance, but it's not just his bit in the movie. It's at the very end. There's, they make mention of him in the credits, and obviously, as we've mentioned, and as we know now, we lost Stan Lee earlier this year, and so it's just this was the first Marvel movie that came out since that happened, and I thought it was a nice touch on their part to do that.
Cool.
But yeah, so check out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and also Greg recommending the manga of My Hero Academia, and I'm saying check out on Netflix Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, directed by Andy Serkis. That is, all of those are worth your time. So check them out.
Cool things. No good Greg's list this week. I think we've we've kind of overstayed our welcome
Yeah,
today.
we talked about a lot of stuff, so we'll let you guys get back to it, and we will see you in the new year. Looking forward to a lovely and productive...
Have a drink on us.
Yeah.
Throw a little dance party.
That's right. Enjoy yourselves. You know, it's time.
Don't let Mickey's giant white glove ruin your holiday again.
No.
Another year in a row.
Don't let them take the fun out of that. Don't let them come around screaming about patents and law and all that.
You say something about patents?
Ha! Give us your stuff! Ha!
I don't have anything.
Yeah, what do you... Guys, we're in a boxcar. You see what we're doing. We're staring at this
Give us
candy
the
cane on
boxcar.
Actually...
Yeah, yes.
You can have it.
Here you go.
You can have it.
Woo!
Good. Thanks, guys. Hey, we're gonna get out of here.
Let me take the equipment. No, that stays.
No, we need this, Goofy.
No, it's part of the boxcar, therefore we own it.
I don't think
Yeah, but we
true.
gave the boxcar.
It didn't come
Listen,
with this.
You really want to mess with our kind of laws there?
Listen, somebody's leaving this thing one way or the other. You can either walk away or limp away. The choice is yours.
Yeah, Mickey. I think you can limp away.
What are you screwing on your Oh my!
Well, you son of a...
Nice, Greg. Yeah, way to shoot him like that.
I've been learning some lessons with Martha. It's about the only good thing she's good for besides free computer time.
I'll tell you what. That is a quiet arming of that pistol. You did some work to that. I didn't hear anything.
This is why you have to keep regular maintenance on your equipment there,
You're right.
Don.
You're right. No, I've learned a lesson.
I'll show you regular maintenance.
No! Bah! Eat that!
Oh, my leg!
There you go. How do you like that?
Oh, I'm falling into the Subspace Emissary.
Oh, I'm coming after you, Goof! I can't let you. Hey, this isn't the end of this. We're coming back here. We'll see you next year.
Oh god, the boxcar's being sucked in.
Oh, grab the equipment! Grab the equipment! Hey, thanks so much for a great year!
See you next year. Where did everybody go?
Yeah, I want to know about that too.
Are you Travis?
That's me, Travis. Remember I followed you last time?
Why is your skin all burned like that?
Kind of had to deal with a dragon. Kind of sucked.
Oh, you've got like black on your neck. Your neck is like black.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, you helped me with me lung cancer. Also, because you opened me up in this world of time, I'm also a Time Lord now.
Are you serious? This is great! I've been so lonely in here. I'll bounce around, I talk to Don, I talk to Greg. Neither of them want to explore the cosmos with me. You, Travis, you are the answer I've been seeking.
Well, that sounds nice.
Why don't we go see...
I'm gonna go see me aunt. I want to show her my time travel powers.
Alright, why don't I go with you? I would like to meet this lady.
No.
I need some company. Why don't we make some tea together when we get there?
How about... No.
Alone again. Maybe I'll try and find him.
What you just heard was a fantasy, a fiction, cooked up for your amusement and the catharsis of the hosts. Please, have mercy on them.